Grade 12, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I just kind of decided one day that I wanted to be a pilot, and I went and saw my parents and I told them this, and my parents were like, actually no, you're going to go to business school. And I was like, actually no, I'm going to be a pilot. And then just, we went back and forth, and I was like, okay, well, what if I can do both? And my parents were like, okay, if you want to do both, then you can do both. And we got to find this great program at Coastal Pacific that bridged sort of the business degree with the aviation, and it was a perfect match for us. As a 17-year-old coming in with not a lot of academic background in business, all the professors at UFV actually had worked in the field in whatever it was that they were teaching, which is something that I think a lot of professors in different universities don't actually have. They have the academic background, maybe the theoretical background, but they sort of miss that practical part, which I really appreciated about UFV. My aviation career is pretty, I think, fairly standard for these parts. So I did my instructor rating at Coastal Pacific at the end of my program. I got on flying for Voyager Airways, which is based out of Northern Ontario, and they do mostly contracts with the United Nations and with NATO. Flying for the United Nations was very interesting, and I didn't see a lot of change happening on the ground, and so I actually went back and got into the London School of Economics and did a master's degree in gender development and globalization, and it allowed me to then switch into doing nonprofit work, which is what I'm doing now as the CEO of the Tekera Foundation. Tekera works with one community at a time, specifically in Uganda. One of the things that we found is people don't have direct access to services. They don't have enough money to be able to pay for them. So we've actually created our own currency called the Tekera Peso, where people can come and work in different sectors of the farm or in the community in certain ways and get this currency, and then they can actually take it into the health clinic or pay for their kids to go to school, which makes a lot of the services universally accessible. I'm actually studying for the LSAT right now. I'm planning to go back to law school and do climate finance. So why I'm doing that is I think that we have a very specific time in the world right now where climate finance is going to move from the private sector to being regulated by governments. And so that's where I'll be planning my future. UFV and Coastal, this sort of joint program, really laid the foundation for what I've been able to do in my life. I was able to get into LSE because I went to UFV and did quite well there, and there was a lot of tangible programs and classes within the business side of the program. And then that kind of led me into doing this work, and it's going to then lead me into what I'm doing next. So it's just this very tangible timeline of being able to do this passionate, heart-based work and give back to the world in a very meaningful way.